Another week. Welcome back, Hulahans.
It's
Danny
just
Rude,
going
Johnny
by so
Brah.
fast. Going by so fast, Danny. January 12th, Monday
Almost
already.
mid-January already. Just like
Bro.
that. Snip, snap.
Yep.
Off we go.
Halfway halfway through the wife's birthday month, Danny. We're just processing through it here, buddy.
One step closer to the whale soup.
Yep. Bro, so the whales are flaring. Because I'm always like,
Goodness.
I'm always at Ironwoods, right? And there's always a pod out there. It's a certain pod that I'm used to seeing. And I'm like, where are you guys? And then they're here now.
They
They
showed
are
up.
here now.
They showed
Yes,
up.
indeed. Yep.
Wow.
So
If you
whales are
haven't
going
been on
off.
Maui, I know a lot of people like to travel in the shoulder months, which we talk about. It's the best time to be on Maui. It's quiet. But if you haven't been on Maui during whale soup, I mean, you got at least one time, right?
Dude, I mean, it
It's
never
unreal.
ever gets old.
Like you don't
Ever.
even have to go out on a boat to enjoy it. You can
No.
sit on the beach.
I'm gonna give you the secret decoder ring about how to find whales. You look
Ooh,
for a sailboat.
yes.
And that's where you'll find whales because they're always chasing them. So the people on board feel stoked. So they'll tip heavy. You put me right on the whales. So that's it. You just look for sailboats. I 100% guarantee you will see whales.
Look for sailboats, find whales.
That's
Thanks for the
right.
secret sauce, Johnny.
You're very
Tell
welcome.
your friends. Tell your friends. So,
Yep.
Johnny,
So
a little bit of I don't know, some interesting comments swirling around on
I'm going to
Maui.
read it because
Interesting
it's
action.
so, yes, I want to read it because it's so controversial. And by me reading it, I can share somebody else's opinion, but I'm not actually saying it, right? So this is from a fellow realtor who I absolutely respect. Maybe if I knew him sooner, I'd consider him a mentor. But this is what he said about Bill 9 becoming law. Bill 9 never contained any provisions that addressed housing. Certainly nothing to address affordable housing. Didn't create units, didn't fund housing, did not provide affordability. Its function was, well, as it turned out, unclear even to the mayor and the council members that supported it. Various points, it was framed as a housing bill, then it was an affordability measure, then a workforce housing solution, and then later as a zoning correction. Those explanations were not consistent, and the lack of consistency mattered. One of the county council members, she's a friend, so I'm not going to say her name, actions around the so called safe list of properties underscored this problem. When selecting which condominium complexes would be phased out from the STR hotel zoning, she included luxury resort properties such as the Kapalua Golf Villas and the Ridge Villas, stating publicly, we need housing at all price points. Now,
Hmm.
what is interesting about that statement, Danny?
There is no restriction on living in any hotel
I, as a
zone
resident, can go and live
properties.
in any complex, no matter what the zoning is, as long as it's residential. And guess what? The fact that I am a resident would cause my taxes to be lower as long as I submitted the necessary paperwork.
Yeah, doesn't matter if you're in the Ritz-Carlton or the Montage or any of them. Yeah.
So I like my Maui County Council members. I remember what they did before they were county council members. Sometimes it causes me pause in situations like this where they lack even fundamental understanding of how our world works.
Hmm.
This is the stuff that disturbs me. I think that our clients that own at the Ridge and Kapalua Golf Villas can add this to a potential lawsuit as well. I mean, to make a
Hmm.
public statement like that is just so fascinating. And Danny, I sent you a story that we're looking at phasing out for a period of time the building of swimming pools in Lahaina.
Hmm. Only
Now,
Lahaina.
I want to be clear that if you had a swimming pool before, you can still do one and you can keep your pool up. What I haven't seen, Danny, is any measures to help me have confidence that there will always be water in the fire hydrants when there's emergency. Now, that would be a measure that I would celebrate. But getting rid of pools. Now, I always remember people getting pissed off at pools because wealthy people can have them, and it's always a backlash against golf courses as well because wealthy people use golf courses. However, if we go over to the Waihu golf course or the golf course at the dunes, bro, there's nothing but retired
Local.
local people playing golf, man. They
All
love it
day, every
too.
day.
Bruh. And they're smart about it. They're not spending 400,000 or 500,000 bucks on these kooky courses over here. They go to the local courses. So, anyway, my wife tells me I should go into politics because I complain about politics so much. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
you
how I
you
see it
just
there,
wonder
Danny.
how it plays out like that. But yeah, going after swimming pools and not actually so addressing housing, but not actually addressing housing, addressing water shortage, but not actually addressing water shortage. They're kind of band-aids to sort of make everything look good, feel good, but doesn't actually get to the real issue.
It's amazing how our county council uses water as a way of controlling, right? And what do they control? Well, they control what gets built. And
Mm.
we have a fundamental supply and demand issue. That's what it always has been. We don't want to build. We make it difficult to build. We have so many regulations to build. And that's what it comes down to, is they somehow think that by manipulation, we can provide enough housing. We don't even ask the people, do you want to live in these places?
Do
Anyway,
you want
that's my
to?
little rant for the day there, Danny. What else did I fill your inbox with?
Taxes.
Bro,
Taxes,
so
Johnny.
here, let's show them what they're doing now. So guys, we want you to have an understanding of Maui property taxes, all right? So, first thing, and this is a crazy statement, you won't believe it, but you can absolutely check all your AI. We, the people of Hawaii, as long as it's our primary residence, pay some of the lowest property taxes in the entire nation. Now, when I was a realtor in the mainland, Danny, people would tell me, John, I want to buy a house and I need to be in the Scottsdale School District. So we're going to look for houses specifically in that district. And the
Yes.
reason for it, Danny, is that property taxes in the mainland go towards schooling,
Yes.
unless you're in Hawaii. None of the property taxes go to schooling. Why? I don't know. Why have we tried not changed that? I don't know that either. So, how it works here in Hawaii and why our taxes are so low is that if it is your primary residence, and we just discussed, you can have a primary resident anywhere that's residential. The only piece of residential real estate that you cannot make your primary residence is a timeshare. And that's because you need to live in your primary residence for a vast majority of the year.
Yep.
So, how it works here in Maui is I buy my house, and if I'm doing my federal taxes as a resident in Hawaii, that's how I prove my residency here. There's no
Yes.
other way to do it. You must do your taxes here. So, for you guys that are coming on over here from the mainland or a different state and you want to be part of Hawaii and you want to make this your residence, just know that is how it's done. It doesn't matter that you kept your home back in the mainland as your primary residence, but you were paying some kind of taxes here in Maui because maybe your wife worked here. That does not matter. You have to file your federal taxes as a resident. And once you do that, the state or the county of Maui will give you a $300,000 reduction on the tax assessed value of your property. And keep in mind, the tax assessed value and the market value of your property tend to be different. And most times, the tax assessed value is lower than the market value. And that's because the market value fluctuates all over the place, whereas the tax value is assessed one time each year. So I get a reduction on the assessed value and then show them the graph there, Danny, or else the different things that I sent you there, buddy.
Which one do you want to see? The
The
rates?
tax rate. Here it is, guys. So I get a reduction on the assessed value. And then as long as my home is worth less than $1.3 million, I pay $1.65 per $1,000 of assessed value. So let's do the math, kind of. I own a 1,000,003 house. I get a 300,000. So let's say that my tax assessed value of my property is $1,300,000. Well, $300,000 of that disappears off of the exemption. And then I'm going to pay $1.65 per thousand on the remaining $1,000,000. Now, let's flip that. I want to buy a second home, John. I want to keep my place in Seattle because I love it in the summertime. I love it every single time except for when it's super rainy. Cool. Come on over. Now, non-owner occupied is what second home classification is. Just means you don't live there all the time. So up to $1,000,000, you don't get any tax exemption. So no $300,000 off your assessed value. You just pay all of it. And you pay $5.87 per thousand of assessed value. Hotel and resort properties, $11.80. Now, Danny, we created this TVR STRH value, and then we have hotel zoning, and now all of the TVRs are technically going to be hotel zoning. So I don't know what we're going to pay, quite frankly. I just want to point that out there. Timeshare technically is the highest amount of taxes that you will pay, property taxes in Hawaii. You'll pay $14.70 per thousand of assessed value. Now, your TVR rates, you're going to pay just like you do if you live in California, guys, because the California clients are the only ones that aren't shocked when I tell them what the taxes are on the condos. They pay $12.50 per thousand of assessed value up to $1,000,000. Now, we do have a new long-term rental, or we did have, still do have, a long-term rental exemption because Maui County is trying to drive behavior, and this way I agree with. So what it is you still, if you have a long-term rental property, you must have a 1-year lease for this to work because you're going to need to submit proof of that lease along with a form called a long-term rental exemption. And they're going to prove that you have a long-term rental with your lease. Same thing like with the residential exemption. They'll give you a break off the tax assessed value of your property. And then you're going to be paying this $295 up to $850 if your rental property is worth more than $3,000,000. So if you were unaware of what our taxes are, I just gave you a quick little class on that. The new long-term rental exemption, though, Danny. So this is where they want to mess with you a little bit, which is kind of funky for me. As long as you're willing to charge only 70% of market value on your rental, meaning you're feeling a little charitable, 30% charitable, well, then they will reduce your taxes significantly. If it's worth $500,000 or less, you would pay no more taxes whatsoever. Anyway, this is our county trying to mess around again with behavior based off of taxes, Danny.
And then the higher value properties, the exemption would only be $100,000.
That's what I'm reading, but what I don't know is that just off of the tax assessed value because I already get that. So kind of interesting. I'm not really understanding the complete value of this one here, but just shows that they're trying to drive more investors away from the vacation rental model and more into the long-term model because that benefits residents.
Which the repercussions of this are interesting because once the fire happened and then FEMA came in, FEMA didn't look at local rent rates at all. I mean,
No.
something that was normally 2,000 a month, 2,500 a month, FEMA's like, we'll do 7,500 a month and we'll pay for all your HOA and maintenance fees.
But most importantly, Danny, they sent over 3 large property managers that were embedded into their system that had no knowledge of Maui rentals whatsoever. They had no idea as to what could be done in each complex, and they're the ones that inflated the rent. And guess what, Danny? Those 3 property managers, just like property managers, were able to skim some money off of all those rents because they got paid a percentage of that. That is why I think they overinflated rents and completely screwed shit up for us. I know friends at Kahana Ridge that were getting $13,000 a month for their house when maybe they should have been getting eight.
Wow.
Anyway, that's government math for you, Danny.
And who wouldn't take that money? Yeah, why not? You're gonna pay me way
Absolutely.
more than it's worth? Yes,
Dude,
please.
I knew a dude that pulled a Danny and they went and traveled for a year off that money.
Why not? Gonna
That's
give me
what's up.
that kind of money, still pay my mortgage. So yeah, now they're asking you to rent for 70% of the market rate, but we'll give you a discount on your taxes. I don't even know if the numbers work.
Danny, if we would just build a little bit, buddy, because it all comes down. I'm just a simple dude, right? But somebody explained the law of supply and demand to me, and it made absolute sense, right? Law of supply and demand is very simple. If the supply is large and demand is small, prices must lower in order to get rid of excess supply. And
Yep.
then the reverse works. If I have small supply and I have a large amount of demand, a la the COVID market, which I feel the government invented, then prices go up incredibly so. And that's what we watch happen. And yet our government feels that they can incentivize us to get rid of natural laws that work in markets.
All kinds of interesting and food for thought on this
Indeed.
Monday. What a way to get them all started on their week.
Feeling very curmudgeonly.
It's good that people know what's going on, how things are being approached, and sometimes it makes sense, and a lot of the time it doesn't. So, with that, let's talk about what's going on in the hot list today.
Let's do it.
We're gonna start right here in Kula.
Wow, Danny, we are rapidly reducing the price on this guy here. We are suddenly awakening up to the fact maybe we weren't priced correctly. Look at that, showing that they trim down the trees. So people, we take smart realtors ask for feedback and then use feedback given. So somebody was saying, I can't buy the house because that tree's in the way.
Killing my view, man.
That's
Oh,
what's
look at this
up.
beautiful looking house.
Yep. Very cooler too, in terms of like so many funky styles.
Yeah, some
It's
wood,
kind of a
some
pole house. There's pole house aspects to this, where they drive the poles through, lots of exposed wood,
yeah, lots of
fireplaces.
glass.
It's kind of contemporary, built in 93, but then my kitchen's very classic, kind
Early
of.
2000s.
Yep.
Yes, very cool. So, what do you get? Half acre, three beds, two baths, 2,300 square feet with a cottage, 684 square feet. So, in this case, Johnny, walk them through what that would look like on a long-term rental. Let's say they rented out the Ohana long term. They had a 1 year lease.
Yep.
So, they're going to get what kind of an exemption potentially on their.
This one would be complicated, Danny, because am I going to live in the three bedroom two portion? So if I am there, I would get the long-term residential exemption from that portion of my house.
Yes.
So two forms I'd be filling out in this case if that's the case there. So once I move into the property there, I would submit my homestead exemption for the residential portion of it. And then for the long-term rental portion, I would need to get that secure that 12-month lease. And then I would submit also my long-term exemption. Now, here's something I was just thinking about,
Are
Danny.
they able to get a
And
double exemption?
believe that they are,
Okay.
because technically, if you're renting part of your property for purposes that generate income, the government always wants pieces of your income. Am I correct?
Yes.
So that's where it would. So technically, like if you're just doing this all under the table, well, now you're trying to ignore the law, and this isn't a
Yes.
discussion for you. But this is if you're doing it legitimately. Now, here's something I was thinking about, Danny. Let's say that that's a no hana,
Mm.
and our county is unaware and it's non-conforming. I don't know what happens in that case. You could be waving your hands to say, "Hey, I've got a non-conforming rental here." I don't know, but I just thought about that there myself. So
Hmm.
that
Few
would be the
options to think
Scoopy
about
there.
and look at. Yes.
That's
And
absolutely it,
so
man.
if you didn't live in the main house,
Yep.
could
Then
you
you would
still
just do
get
the
the
whole
long term?
entire thing. Yeah,
long-term
so
rental.
then you would definitely want to, like, if this was your plan, you can't vacation rent this unless you live in it for 5 years and then get lucky and get the permit, right?
Yes.
So that would be off the table as an investor. You could try for the bed and breakfast thing if you wanted to. Depends on how many are close by. Those are tough to get as well. So if you're strictly investing, you're going to go the long-term route here, then you would just submit the 1 year lease, for one or both portions there, and you would get the exemption that way. I'm going to imagine, because I didn't see any other numbers except for zeros on that TMK, that is a non-conforming attached Ohana. So that case, maybe you're just going to get the one long-term exemption, even though you have two rental spaces there.
It is.
Peaky Place. This guy's been hanging out, man.
Price reductions, what, 400, almost 400,000 in
Hit the H
6
for me.
months.
Hit the H for me, would you? I want to say that this one, like, no one's ever even lived in this house, if I remember correctly. There was one, but no, this one got purchased in 2023.
So 2023 paid 2.25 for it.
And,
Tried to
and
come out last summer at 2.9, down
yep,
400,000 since then. So
yep.
everyone wants to make a return on their property after they buy it, no matter when they buy it.
And typically
And
it works for them on Maui, right? I mean,
typically,
you can hold a high-end property for a couple years and still make a decent
unless
return.
you bought right at the peak point, which
That's
2023
right.
was post COVID, still a lot of people coming over, still inflated prices.
That's it.
Here we
But
go.
man, that cycle ran long. When you see like where our prices set the highest amount, it's like in 2024 in some of these segments,
Hmm.
trips me out. Here we go, Danny. Seeing a lot of sub two millies in the Wailea, surrounding neighborhoods around the golf course ones that tend to bring more money. Still above $1 million a foot there. Wailea Kai, basically you walk across the street to Keawakapu Beach from this particular neighborhood here. Great neighborhood. And I mean, as it feels like we're kind of at the tail end cycle of the Airbnb model. It seems like it's saturated everywhere. Would you agree there?
Yes.
I mean, you're just kind of seeing it. Tahoe, different places in Europe. I mean, just all kinds of places are just done with that model there. So in the world of second homes, I mean, man, this is a better deal than some stuff at Kaimalu, for example, that are condos.
Neighborhood vibes, close to the
Yep,
beach,
there you
2.5
go.
million. And That's
With
that's
room,
what that's what you're working on.
with room.
So it keeps coming down, Johnny.
I want to send this to my boy Johnny, who I just visited, man, because I don't know if they necessarily need the vacation rental. They love Napili. I mean, and they're good kind of surf culture folk, at least Johnny is. And bro, I got so many friends of mine that live in this neighborhood that are surfers, surf photographers. It's a chill place, man. It is right there at literally at the border of Kapalua and Napili. You come down this driveway, you are dead ending into the parking lot across the street in Napili Kai. Fees aren't horrible at 717. Some views. See if there's any views from this unit. It's already got the duck list, decent square footage, 631.
Eh,
Some small kind of view, yeah. A little
small
bit of
kind
the
view.
dirt, yeah, a little bit of the dirt road there. That's Hawaiian Homes action off on that side there. But just in terms
Zoom
of
in.
location. And then shout out to this realtor here, just had twins. This guy would probably win if there was like a realtor surf contest. It would be either him or Kevin Sully.
There you go.
And these guys are showing the motivation because they were just 9,000 higher. Look at that, Danny. Kahana Sunset. I would say this is a value without all the funk around Kahana Sunset. Kahana Sunset has F building. F building is encroaching on the high tide watermark now. It has been deemed uninhabitable since 2021. That's the F building off to the side. It's right there. They're going to have to tear that guy down, and the owners are going to have to be made whole through the association, or the association's going to have to rebuild that somewhere else on the property. And I just don't know where it's going to fit. I have a picture of a wave going over the roof of the F building, in a big storm a couple of years ago. So very sad. Kahana Sunset's hotel zoned. It's well loved. But that's the scoop there. So 1525 for the fees, and then a potentially large unknown special assessment coming up in the future.
So we did have a question about Kahana Sunset a few days ago.
Okay.
I'm going to propose that we're going to do a once a week pre-recorded call on someone's questions. So
I love it.
drop your question. We'll drop it on the weekend. It'll be like a Saturday Q&A. So you guys have questions, you have comments, you want us to look at something in particular, a specific building, a specific neighborhood, you want us to do an overview of the neighborhoods of a particular area. We had a client reach out over the weekend that wanted to look at all, pet-friendly, kind of family-oriented complexes on the south side. So I put together that little list and we went over it. Things like that.
Nice.
If you have those sorts of questions, drop it in the comments, reach out to us directly. We'll do a once a week Q&A and we'll answer some of these questions that are burning in your head. We don't have to call you out directly. We'll just put it out there. You guys can read it, listen to it, check it out. So we'll talk about that on
You know,
Saturday.
Kahana Sunset is just the mother of all like sea level rise stories. Because, dude,
Mm.
there's pictures of this place in the 70s where the beach is so far out in front of the complex, you would never think that it would have come in that much there. Um, Very close by to this, also dealing with it. He might have sold it off, but the owner of Maui Gym, or the previous owner, he sold that out and cashed out. Has a house that's just south of here, and I mean, big sandbags in front of it, and local activists complaining all about it. So yeah, I had some people at this place. My kid was fishing with some of his friends, and had some people just screaming at him, throwing his poles down. And then the other boy that he was with, his parents went down and lit them up because they were complaining that this is their private beach. And guys, there's no such thing as a private beach in Hawaii. And that's why F building is being torn down, is because the state of Hawaii owns all the way up to the high tide mark. So the state of Hawaii is gaining ground via sea level rise. Can we agree? Just because
Mm.
that high tide level just keeps getting pushed back. Go back to that aerial photo, Danny. There was a few there, but let's kind of talk about the logistics of what they're going to try to do. There we go. I mean, dude, I don't know where they're going to be able to put another building. They've discussed like in some of the parking lot areas, but I don't know, bro. Where's that going to fit? That F building's huge, man. So they've talked about
So
like in
this
that
is
area.
F.
That's it right there. A is the one aside over there, A and B, and then A's been kind of dealing with some C issues, even though it sits on a little bit of a rock cropping. But yeah, that is the scoop
So yeah,
of
they've been
Kahana
talking about
Sunset.
maybe somewhere over here.
Well, what are you going to do with your parking then?
So you'd have to build it on top of the
Because
parking or build
there
parking
would
into
be
the structure.
underneath.
So even more engineering.
And most importantly, guys, keep in mind who we're going to have to be working with as we do this. Maui County, who's already saying they have no love for, and it's amazing when I hear some of the council members kind of, or the activists here kind of talk against. It's like you put your complex too close to the ocean, and I'm going, no, somebody that looked just like these council members here said
Yeah.
build it here. That's what happened, right? We
They
don't get
approved
to
it in
just build.
1973. Yes.
That's it. That was a good place in 1973. So that's the scoop there, guys. Kahana Sunset.
Would you consider Kahana Sunset given all this information, Johnny?
I wouldn't, Danny. Even, I mean, in the world of price overcomes all objections, it's just so uncertain, and that amount is big. I mean, so let F building, I mean, if it comes down to market value when it comes time to making them whole, well, the direct ocean front ones were always the ones that have the value. And so I would say the two bedrooms in there would be valued at on the cheap right now, million, a million two. And so then you just factor in how many owners are in there, and there's your special assessment split out over the rest of the owners. That's what was interesting is we watched somebody pick up a two-bedroom and F building for like 175,000, right? And
Yes.
that was
Hmm.
their potential future play, but they're still paying the maintenance fees while they sit around and wait on this future play and don't
And
get to enjoy
taxes.
it. and taxes, and don't get to use it because their building's uninhabitable. The many
So
nuances of West Maui real estate, guys.
the word from Johnny, no, he would not consider or invest in Kahana Sunset.
If you
There you
love
have
the
it.
property, rent. That's how you get around that. Just rent.
Fair. Good
Yeah.
word.
Kahana Sunset's like a boat. You don't buy a boat unless you're a good boat mechanic. You rent it. Hana Highway, Danny. Look at that vibe. Oh my goodness.
Very Hana in this picture. And then
That seems like a
very Hana.
deal, Danny.
Look at all that real estate. I mean, that looks like a mega structure.
I mean, 3,200 feet, zero point 0.4 acres, hasn't been CPR'd.
Uh,
Maybe I could continue to do additional
Stream running
structures.
through it.
Lots of red feng shui action.
I mean, look at these views. Let's see if we're gonna see the views.
So the
Ooh.
reason for it, show them where we're at, Danny. Hit the map.
Where's this spot at?
I'm gonna say it's right there in Hana somewhere.
Pretty close to it.
Halfway. Yeah, just past Nahiku.
So, Black Sand Beach
Yep.
and your subject property.
This is what we call Fortress of Solitude lifestyle, guys.
Way out. So, 1.2 billion.
Compound, executive getaway. Somebody will make sense. Open to all offers.
A three-section Ohana style home. Yeah,
How
these
do you
don't
say
move super quickly.
non-conforming? They don't. They don't.
There's only so many people that want to live this far out, but you get just under a half acre, so not a lot of land.
Yeah. I mean, the Beatles are all dead. Jim Neighbors. Those are the people that liked Hana. Oprah's moved out. Sugar Beach Resort, Danny. I mean, Sugar Beach rolled through this correction fairly unscathed, in my opinion.
Yeah, look at that's a nice looking unit.
It is. Is this one of the girls? Did they do that remodel? Is this Deb or somebody?
Sure
Oh
is.
yeah. We can call them out, can't we?
Yeah.
I know how they flip. I know their
Yeah.
style. Cute. They've
Beautiful.
been
Ground
they've been
floor.
hold, they've been holding this since 23, I bet. So ground floor, where is it? Is it in the U or is it in the direct ocean front?
Yeah, see, they've been trying to sell this for
They
a
have.
while.
Somebody
Got it
picked
in
it up
22
for
for
800.
800. Try to sell it in 24 for a million one. Now try to sell it for a million. Yeah, it's in the inside.
It is. I don't see it, Danny. How about you?
I don't. Beautiful remodel, but
Yeah, it's cute.
million bucks. So fees, 1,500 a
Oh,
month for your fees.
what did it say about the HOA there? Well-funded reserves. HOA includes everything there, guys. Electric, etc. Pets of all sizes allowed. That is what the realtor remarks share with us. I literally taught myself Maui real estate through realtor remarks and then this associated documents section that has a zero in it right there.
So 400 bucks a night average nightly
Yep,
rental in the winter time. I mean, this is a bit of a unicorn. You want hotel zoned and you want to bring your pet over? This is one to consider. There's not many hotel zoned and allow pets. That is a
there
question that
isn't.
comes up fairly frequently that people want to bring
And the
doggo on their
amenities,
trips.
yeah, there's some unusual amenities here. Like you could get yourself a prom dress or rent yourself a prom tuxedo and get a great sandwich at Dina's Sandwich, all on the same grounds.
Couple of commercial spots right there.
That's
I
it.
love Sugar Beach. It's quiet. It's
Yep.
long.
Yep. Wow,
Wailea for
Danny,
2.5, Johnny. It's like
Bobby
the
and
new price in
Bobby and
Wailea.
Ken have been trying to dump this guy for I don't know how long. Hit the H, Danny.
Look at those views though.
Did they ever sell it? Did it already move ever? Because I remember this guy
Oh,
in so
cancel.
many different price
So
reiterations.
2005. So since 2021, they've been trying to sell this thing. 3.2.
Dude, talk about
3.2,
loyalty though.
3.2,
Just talk about
2.9, 2.8,
loyalty.
2.7, 2.6, 2.5. So it's 5 years. We're going on 5 years trying to sell this thing.
The same agents too. God bless them, man. That's powerful. That speaks volumes.
So, I mean, I think a lot of people are just seeing the reality. This thing needs a full on remodel. It is very
Indeed,
1990 in here.
it does.
Dark, the wood's dark. No views off the back. You do get front views off the lanai. I mean, this is pretty sweet.
That is.
But you're coming in with a what, half
I
a
mean, you're
million
below
dollar
a thousand
remodel.
bucks a foot, so they're trying to show us some value there, right? I mean, we've just seen 2,100 feet for 2.5. We thought that was a value, but yeah, something interesting with this guy. 'Cause yeah, 5 years worth. Anyway, moving right along.
There you have it. And another Wailea. 2.69 on this one.
Well,
This is the Wailea package, everything.
it is. People
So
remodeling and getting on out, huh?
another kind of starter Wailea.
Yep, Cavacapoo jams
Little different vibes on this one. A little bit
for
newer.
sure.
Got the
Yep,
pool,
got the pool.
kind of spread out, kind of some views. Very light and bright.
LVP everywhere.
2020 remodel. Oh, there you go.
A little
2.69.
bit of a view. Yeah, just another
Little.
alternative to expensive condos.
And yeah, no typical HOA fees, Johnny, but you do have your Wailea Association, which in this case is $1,300 a quarter. So
Roger
four
that.
times a year, 5,200 bucks. So basically 500 bucks a month, roughly. And you're part of the Wailea Association.
That's it. So, guys, because Wailea is a resort community, they have their own kind of master. Man, these are continuing to come down a bit, or else they're just pricing this to move.
Coming
Because
down a
that one,
little
this one
bit.
has views, huh?
Yeah, coming
Could
down
be
a bit.
strategy. Could be strategy. That's a great looking unit, man, for what it is. I mean,
Nice
they did
looking.
go in and rehab it. Yeah.
585. So, I mean, it's still kind of interesting that, I mean, if you think about the comparables to
Mm-hmm.
this, right? Your Yale Parkside, your Kihei Villages, your Kionikai, it's kind of this two, 1.5, 750 square feet. I mean, we're
Yeah.
seeing those come down to 500 and below even. So to see these closer to six, I mean, a little bit newer, of course. But yeah, I think they're, I mean, decently holding their value compared to where Kihei Villages and those are going.
That's a good point, Danny, because you're right. I mean, I would put these, like people looking in this price range are considering this, Kahului Ikena, and then Iao Parkside, like you said, right? And then maybe some of the lower Kealani Gardens and stuff. So you're right.
Yeah,
Location wise, this dominates all day long. This is the
this is the
part of
best
Kealani
location
you want
play.
to be in. It's where my mom lives, guys. I'm here all the
Yeah,
time.
these are the
Yeah.
vibes.
So the 1.5 bathroom is interesting. How it is like you come from your primary bedroom into a half bathroom, and then
Yep.
there's another adjoining door that would put you into the main bathroom, which you can also access through the living area. So that's how they have that set up.
Yeah, it's an interesting setup for sure.
Yeah. Cavella. This is Molokai, man. That's a lot of money for Molokai.
Selling
Cavella,
that
just
view right
outside
there.
of town. Yeah, this is where more of the eye doctor and stuff like that. They live in this neighborhood over here. It's
I
kind
mean,
of
yeah, this looks fancy.
it is.
So three, two and a half, 2,600 square feet, 1.3 million.
Yep.
Who's itching to go into a Molokai for 1.3, Johnny?
Somebody that's got to live there and work there.
Here's the alternative. 3-1
Yep.
on Molokai.
And that's expensive. 599, but is this Cavella too?
Doesn't look like it.
No. Maybe the Heights.
Rancho Camp.
Oh, Ranch Camp. That's just up above the actual town. Yeah, that's a lot of money for Ranch Camp, quite frankly.
Feels
I
like
don't
it.
see it. Yep.
Island surf.
Man, show me some power lines, would you?
Well, that is the downside here. I mean, didn't put the power lines in under
So
the
is that a
street.
disclosure picture or is that a marketing photo? Because I would have used it as disclosure myself.
Yeah. So second floor, right over the parking lot. Bit of update, bit of
I'm gonna
view.
s- I'm gonna say it, Danny. My opinion is I wish that glass black tile style never came about. I think it's so dated now. I just don't like it. And then they used it
PS5 here.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Accent
then in the
everywhere. Yeah,
kitchen.
that went everywhere for a while.
I'm just not a big fan of it. It's not timeless, that's for sure.
So almost $1 million, hotel zoned, right? Or it's some kind of interesting zoning. It's
Right,
not apartment
B2 or
zoning.
something like
Yeah.
that.
So
Yep.
allows for vacation rentals, 1,500 a month in your fees. Small kind pool. I mean, you're more. It's the location play here. You're right across the street from Columbus Park. You're kitty corner to some of the shops and restaurants.
You're
The
right on the lower
Cove,
road too, yeah.
right on the Cove, and
Okay.
back up to Kula.
Cool. Not a lie road.
2 acres compound,
Oof. Has not been CPR'd.
bit modern. All the views. Small kind house. There's
For
Kula.
Kula, I'm going to put it between aspirational and perceived market value.
4 detached buildings though, Johnny.
Oh, Danny, tell me more.
Here
What'd
we
we
go.
do? Four distinct structures.
3 bedroom main house, flexible spaces for work. There's a separate utility and workshop building, 800 square feet.
No, Hana.
And there's studio space with a detached outdoor shower and an
No,
incinerating
Hana.
toilet. So, yes, maybe some.
It's
I mean,
there's some
I was
rental
wondering.
opportunities.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
There
go
you go.
back to
There you
that
go.
one. Yeah, look at that.
I was wondering what this thing was down here. So, yeah. Bonus structures. So here's your outdoor shower and incinerating toilet. So this one's a no-hana for sure.
Yep.
Here's your main home, your pool, and then this may be a no-hana as well. Cooler compound. I mean, looks really well done, well
Dude,
maintained,
that's a lot for the money, in my opinion. I'm
a
stepping
lot of
back off of
property.
what I stated.
Two
You can make
acres,
that
all the
property
things.
pay for itself.
And back to
Here
Yale
we
Parkside.
go.
So here you go. Two
To
bedrooms
your
at Yale
point.
Parkside.
To
Ground
your point.
floor with a yard,
Agreed.
469.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you're 585 for a 2 1.5 or a 2 2 here, 469, value play. Different neighborhoods, but value play.
Maui
How about
Banyan
my
must
Banyan?
have had
Still moving.
must have had a bit of a view. This is pretty quick to move at that
20
price, in my opinion, dude.
days.
There it is.
That's the
There it
zoomed in
is.
view. Where's the actual view?
That's it. I
There we
mean,
go.
views are
That's,
scarce for Maui Banyan, can we agree? I don't think of it as a typical view spot,
I
right?
think the
So,
last 2 2 was around 1.2. So this one's
right.
1.4, 20 days. I mean, Maui
It looks like a
Banyan's
2010 remodel.
Maui
Not
Banyan's
bad.
still demanding. Johnny, look.
Oh, whoa. So it
Someone
wasn't
jumped
worth
on
a
it
million
finally.
six. Wasn't
Wasn't
worth a
worth a
million
million
six.
six, but 599. Someone jumped all
We
over
found
this.
our price. We found our price. Kihei Shores, all pow, 509. Grinded it down 10 grand off. Nice
Yeah.
remodel inside.
Look at this one, Johnny. Went over.
KGE, Danny.
Went
Wowza.
over.
Was this Kai's?
Yeah.
Look
Went
at that.
over. I
Okay.
was
Any,
surprised.
yep.
565, you wouldn't
Cute.
think they're, 50
I mean, no
days.
ductless, no ductless, none of that, yeah.
I mean, the 2 bedrooms, there was a while, there was 2 bedrooms going for 575 in this
Let's see the
complex.
notes. Anything in the notes about any money paid out or anything like that? No.
Not a enchilada.
All righty.
I mean, did well.
Good for
So
you,
that's
Kai.
one of our colleagues messaged me yesterday
Mm-hmm.
and he asked, what's cooking? What's going on? You guys doing business? And I said, right now there's 2 things going on in the market. There's either Everyone's overpriced and they're holding firm on their price, or it's a bidding war.
Yeah.
That's it. There's only
It's
two
the
options
bipolar
right now.
market.
There's only two options. We're literally in a bidding war. We've put out multiple offers in December, missed out on a couple. This one just went above and beyond, surprisingly. Otherwise, there's other offers we're putting in where there's no negotiation. They're like, nope, here's my price. I'm not moving. I'm not budging. You can come up to me.
There is no rhyme or reason to our market, Danny. And I think, again, 50% of our sales are people that don't live here, that are affected by whatever's happening at their own personal home, and they're not all in one place, right? So
Yeah.
many different factors to our Maui market. It just keeps me so fascinated, and I just want to learn more and more and more and more.
And that's why we do this 3 times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, tune in. You want to hear what's going on in the market, some news bits, some of thoughts, feelings, some of our opinions, kind of show you the proof in the pudding of what's going on, what's happening. That's what we're here for. We want to bring you behind the scenes. So thanks for checking us out. Hit subscribe below if you
Yippers.
haven't. Share it with a
Woo.
friend. We'll see you on Wednesday.